Ooh. What's up, good people? It's time for another session of that verbal cardio. We back, man. Back yet again. And if you're back yet again, that's a blessing right there. That's a blessing in itself. That means you're still alive. And if you're watching it live right now, you're listening to it, that means you still got free time to just enjoy something that's not of the utmost importance, which is my podcast. That means you got internet access. That means you got a phone. That means you got a computer. Whatever you watching and listening to this on, at least you have that. And that's a blessing right there, man. I tell you all the time. If you woke up this morning and your health is in order, that's a blessing right there, man. Some people didn't wake up this morning. Some people woke up in absolute pain where nothing even matters to them except the pain. You know what I'm saying? Some people woke up today and they got to be at the hospital all day for their loved one who's fading. You know what I'm saying? Some people just can't even muster up the strength or the energy to even turn anything on. They just face down in the bed crying because they just lost somebody or they just can't pull themselves out of despair. You know what I'm saying? So if you sitting here just hanging out, you know, taking your mind off of things and you got the access to do it, you're blessed right there. You feel me, man? I want to give a shout out to my patron saints, Masashio, To Jesse, Lala Davis, Uncle Ruff, Styler, Shift, Moni, Sticks, Ryan, Tamara, Trey Porter, Charla, Chloe Franklin, Ayomi, Just Cass, Masani, Pete, Kristen, Damon, Kelly Howard, Mia G, or Maya G. I don't know if it's Mia or Maya. Zakia, you know what I'm saying? Just to name a few. Joy, Overdrive Pixie, man. What's up, y'all? I appreciate y'all in the patron sainthood, the bakery, as I like to call it, man. I got the IG Live going right now for a limited time only. Somebody asked me Stone Cold or The Rock. That's tough. That's tough. It's a tie on that one. I'm going to tie it up, man. What's up, Jarrell? Roberto, Charla. Welcome to Verbal Cardio, man. Without further ado, man, if you talking to somebody right now that you're liking on, that you're crushing on, y'all hitting it off, y'all building, you really like this person, you're hitting it off, it's still fresh, you're still getting to know this person, but you really like them. You know what I'm saying? But it's still fairly new. Don't ignore that red flag you saw. Don't ignore that red flag you saw. You saw it. You saw it. Don't ignore it. Because it's going to come up later. It's going to come, it's going to rear its ugly head again later on down the line. If it's a red flag, if it's, you know, a deep red, don't ignore that shit. Don't sweep it under the rug. Address it early on. A lot of times when we talking to somebody, we get caught up in the hype. We feeling the flow and we be ignoring them red flags early on. Nope. Because every time those red flags always come back. That's the thing about a red flag. It's always going to come back. So address it early. That's the best time to address everything is early. You're like, yo, man, this. Why you be doing this? Why you be doing that? What is this a normal thing? Have those tough conversations early. Don't sweep nothing under the rug. Don't tuck nothing in. That'd be the problem, man. Y'all see these red flags early on and you ignore, you tuck, you sweep, and then that shit builds. The red flags get deeper and worse, and then boom, pow, damn. What the hell? And then you got people talking to you later on down the line. You didn't see the red flags early on? You be like, I saw it, but ain't no butts, man. We taking butt cheeks off the table, man. No butts, no booties, no yams, no butts, man. Yo, red flag. Let's talk about this. I know. Hey, listen. I noticed that, you know what I'm saying? You seem to have a temper. I noticed, you seem to disrespect your parents. I noticed you seem to hate children. I noticed your finances might not be right. I noticed all that. Had those conversations early on, man. Don't ignore those red flags. I just wanted to get that out there. I wanted to say that to you because I know that's what we do. That's what we do. But we're not doing that no more. Take that red flag in and address it. I challenge y'all right now. If you're in a situation right now where you really liking somebody, you getting to know them, and you already peep the red flag. Next conversation you have with them, bring up that red flag. Have the discussion. Talk about it. See how real they keep it. See how they handle it when you even bring it up. See how well they communicate on the tough stuff early. All of this should be done early, y'all. All of it. So I just want to put that out there. That was on my heart to say, man. That was on my little heart to say, and I had to get it off my nipples. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like having stuff on my nipples, man. My nipples ain't pierced. I don't like having nothing on my nipples, man. I sometimes when I be shaving and stuff, sometimes I shave the hair off my nipples, man. I don't even want that. So I want y'all to do that, man. I challenge y'all to do that because I know y'all out here booed up on the low. I know y'all sneaking around talking to somebody. I know. I'm watching y'all. Y'all out here cake mixing it up, falling for somebody, getting to know a little somebody, hanging out, going on dates and stuff. You know, getting to know a little something, building, vibing, ignoring the red flags. I just want y'all to be safe and prepared and on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? Feel that. Now, one of the perks of being in my patron sainthood, you get to chime in on the topics that we talk about. Tamara mentioned the Shannon Sharp, Roy Wood Jr. interview. And if you haven't seen Club Shay Shay's interview with comedian Roy Wood Jr., you really should check it out. It is a fantastic interview. Getting to know Roy Wood and how his mind works, how he came up, his relationship with his family, his approach to comedy, his approach to life, his approach to politics. It was really a dope interview. Roy Wood is one of my favorite comedians. But this made me appreciate him even more as a human being. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that interview on Club Shay Shay was a really good one. I really enjoy a lot of Club Shay Shay's interviews, though. I really enjoy it because the thing I like about those interviews, he takes his time. Like he lets those interviews last in a sense. And, I feel like people can really take their time. He doesn't always overtalk his guests. He's not trying to be the one. Because, a lot of these interviewers, they want to overtalk and like cut people off and do all the talking. Like I love Fat Joe and I love Joe and Jada's podcast. But one thing Fat Joe is going to do, he going to cut that guest off and just start talking. He going to do that. And Jada be trying to rein him in, but man, Joe going to cut it off. And I'll just be like, please don't lose track of what you were saying, guest. Please be able to circle back after you get cut off by Fat Joe. Please be able to circle back and finish what you were saying. Finish that thought. Finish that story. Because Joe is going to hijack. And one thing Shannon doesn't do, he doesn't hijack the guests. Let the guests speak. I'm a firm believer in that, man. Let them talk. Let them get it out. You know what I'm saying? Ask good follow-up questions. All that. Let people know you're really listening. And so I feel like the Club Shay Shay interviews are dope. And the Roy Wood Jr. episode is funny. It's human. It's I loved it, man. It was a really good interview. Shout out to Roy Wood Jr. Shout out to Shannon Sharp, man, for keeping his platform going. Sticks asks, I want to hear your top 10 albums from the last 10 years. That's tough. Top 10 albums of the last 10 years. I would have to sit. I don't know if I can cook that up right here on the spot. So I would have to sit and reflect on my favorite albums of the last 10 years. So we going back to 2015. Yeah, I gotta see what came out and when. Um I do know certain albums will be on there. You might get a Kendrick album in there. 2014 Forest Hills Drive would be on there, but I think that came out 2014. Scissors Control album would be on there. Her SOS album probably be on there too. Um, I think Anderson Paak's Malibu came out in like 2016. That's on there for sure. Um, but yeah, I would have to sit and marinate and cook that list up. Somebody asked, Miss Mia G asked, do you be cooking at all? All I see is you dining out. Yes, I cook, but I cook the same stuff, so I don't want to keep showing y'all what I cook. I just cook. Here's what I normally make. I usually make tofu for myself. So I'll make some tofu, I'll season it up, I'll throw it on the skillet, I'll throw it in the air fryer, and then I have that with some greens. That's the main thing I cook for myself when I'm at home. So I don't cook a ton, but I usually eat lunch at my favorite place where I get the avocado toast and the smoothie bowl. And then later on that night, I'll cook my usual. I guess I could show y'all how I cook it. Sometimes I used to post it on my IG story, but I don't cook a variety of things. It's usually I'm doing something with that tofu and then putting that over some greens and then calling it a goddamn night. You know what I'm saying? But I do be cooking. I just cook the same stuff, man. So there was an interview with one of D'Angelo's exes. Her name was Tony, apparently, and the mother of one of his children. And I just saw the post today, and she was talking about what D'Angelo was like. What their relationship was like, what her relationship was with Angie Stone, and I thought it was really dope to get insight on what D'Angelo was like. You know what I mean? And it was a person in the comment section talking about why you talking about this? You just don't nobody want to hear this mess. I do, because it wasn't even messy. Nothing about what she was saying in those clips that I saw, and it was like several clips. There was nothing messy about what she was sharing with us. It was just dope to get insight on, because D'Angelo was reclusive. Like we didn't get a ton of D'Angelo everywhere, so he was mysterious. So to be able to get insight with somebody that knew D'Angelo for real, I was interested. I was like, what was he like? I didn't know that, he had pancreatitis in 2015, and the doctors told him, you got to change it up, and he refused. And so I was like, oh, wow, and she gave insight and talked about how his children were with him in the hospital during his final days, the dynamic, him and Angie Stone had, what he was like, as a person, the things that he dealt with and went through, and, how he felt about the weight gain and just stuff like that, how he felt about technology and, his thought process on his music and not always putting it out all the time and just overthinking everything. I was just like, yo, this is fantastic. And so I thought that was really dope to hear. And it just made me think, like, because she was saying that he had all his Grammy awards and all the multiple awards that D'Angelo has won. He had them in boxes. And she was just like, yo, why you got these in boxes, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Put these up. You should see these. And like, just putting the awards. She put the awards back up for them to be out there, for him to see, for him to take in. Like, you're a genius. Like, let this sit out here. These are accomplishments. And it just got me to thinking, like, when you got a good woman in your life as a man, it changes everything. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm a person that, I have no problem being single, but I also have no problem being in relationships. And I see the value. And I do know that women add value. A good woman can add so much value to a man's life. And they can just really change the atmosphere when they coming in with love, and it's like a good space. That little piece that she gave, I was just like, women are really like the X factor here. They just come in and change the whole energy. And those little things right there just shows the value of women. On a small scale, like, we sit up here day in and day out. We talk about dating and this and that and just like 50-50 and who's bringing what to the table and blah, 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 blah. But when you really take a step back and you take away all of, comment section opinions and other people's opinions about other people's relationship, and you really just watch two people interact, cohabitate, thrive together, you can really see like, wow, you know what I'm saying? This person is adding this person is pouring life into that person, you know what I'm saying? These things, you know, she's pulling him out of his rut or his routine and just like opening him up to so many different things, and like you start to see this. And so I feel like women can really add that to a man's life, and vice versa. Like a man can add to a woman's life for sure, but I'm looking at it from the other side. I'm just looking at it from what a woman can bring to a man's life. And I've experienced it myself, and like you just, because I'm a creature of habit. Like I'll do the same thing day in and day out. I eat the same thing day in day out. But then when a woman comes into my life and just is offering new ideas, new alternatives, new twists on things, and not trying to change me, but just letting me see, oh, this is not, I never even thought about this. And like, those things have value. And so that was just dope to see and hear about D'Angelo and all that good stuff. So it got me to thinking about that. And I was just like, yeah, man, women are dope. And I know y'all gonna be like, Tony Simple again, man. He talking about women dope. You just a simp, dog. You know what I'm saying? I think I'll be like, man, y'all gay, dog. Y'all just be really coming off as women hating gay dudes. When y'all just be extra like, you a simp just because I like women. It just be coming off. It's just like mad, like women hating gay dudes. That's what y'all be feeling like in the comment section. I'll be looking at like posts about, there was a post I was looking at. This is one dude, he just be asking people on the streets. It looked like he always outside of a nightclub. And he'd be like, how old are you? And the women would be like, oh, I'm 40. And are you single? And that's how it usually kicks it off. And then be like, I'm newly single. I was in a relationship for 18 years. This, that, and the third, and the fifth. And you know what I'm saying? People will go out of their way to reach for the negative, no matter what the people are talking about in the video. There was a woman she was about 40. She didn't look 40 at all. She looked way younger than 40. And she had just come out of an 18-year relationship. And, she was just out. And instead of, she was talking about how well she co-parents with her ex. There's a friendship there, and there's still love there, but it just, it didn't work out between them. And, instead of focusing on the healthy aspect of co-parenting children together and respecting one another, even though you broke up, and putting the child first, they like, look, she couldn't wait to get back on the streets. Look at what she got on. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just focusing on how good she looked, her responses to the breakup questions, she just couldn't wait to get back to the streets. I'm like, y'all just look for the negative. Anytime a woman opens her mouth, y'all are just out here with the negativity in the comment section as men. And there was another post. About, there was a couple there, and he was asking, can your woman have guy friends? And he was like, look, yeah, she can have guy friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? They can hang out one-on-one. It's all about trust. And they're like, man, it's only a matter of time for him. He gonna learn one day. Look at her in the phone. She in her phone right now trying to clear her messages just in case. They immediately went to the negative. And me, I'm a believer in, if you don't trust who you're with, why are you with them? If you out here and they can't have a friend of the opposite sex, you don't want them hanging out whatsoever, that shows a lack of trust for that other person that you're with, more so than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Because shooter's going to shoot, your lover is going to be shot at. That just is what it is. Your lover is going to be shot at. Your lover can be shot at from strangers on the streets, co-workers, acquaintances, people they go to church with, you know what I'm saying, people in social media, the DMs. Your lover is going to get shot at. 1,000% of the time. They getting shot. Even a friend might shoot. But if you don't trust your lover, then you're gonna be like, I don't want you hanging around him. I don't want you doing this, that, and the third. I don't want you to be outside. I don't want you to go out without me. That's because you don't trust your lover. Because everybody's getting hollered at. That's just a guarantee. That is what it is in life. Especially if you with somebody attractive, they are gonna get shot at. The real deal is the trust. Do you trust your person to be like, hey man, watch out? If you don't trust your person to say that, then what you doing? There's a lack of trust there, and you're going to be stressed out for life. You're going to feel like you're going to have to hide them from everybody because you don't trust them. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. It's not my job to trust people that I'm not with. It's not my job to be out here and be like, yeah, I trust your friend not to holler at you. I don't. They might holler at you. They might have feelings for you. I'm not in a relationship with them. They might have extra feelings for you, but I trust you to not go there with them, to cut that off. And if you can't cut that off, then we're done. But I trust you to nip it in the bud when you get hollered at, or, nip it in the bud when somebody's crossing the line. I trust you to do that. What I trust in other people is for them to be who they are and shoot their shots. I'll be like, I know you're going to shoot. I know dudes. Dudes is trifling. They going to shoot. I fully expect that. 1,000%. That's a guarantee. But what's expected of me is to trust my partner. And if I can't do that, then we're done. We might as well be done, because I'm not about to be out here stressed. I'm not about to be out here worried about what you doing or who you talking to or who you spending time with or who you might have feelings for. I'm not about to be out here stressed on the day-to-day because I don't trust my partner, man. That's constant stress. Why you out? Who you with? Where y'all going? Why you looking at him? Why you ain't do this? Why you ain't do that? Ain't nobody got time for that. And I'm not about to be not trusted on the other end. If you don't trust me, then leave me be then. If I gave you zero reason not to trust me, you're not going to be stressing me out with the questions and the you know what I'm saying? The investigations. I'm not going to be stressed out with that, man. I'm not going to be getting a third degree every goddamn time. No, man. Listen, if you don't trust me, just say it. Just say it, man. Please. You're not going to be having me in the police station every day, grilling me up with the questions and such. The Spanish Inquisition, exactly. What's the word I'm looking for when they got you in the police station and they asking you the questions? Where were your whereabouts on Friday the 13th at 8 p.m.? Interrogation. I'm not going to be interrogated every week. Well, look, man, if you don't trust me, just say it. God damn. Jeez. Just say it. I'm stressed with your questioning. Anyway, let me cut the IG live. I'm cutting the IG live off, y'all. If you want to continue this episode live as it gets recorded, join my Patreon. Join it up, man. You can join for as low as $5 a month, 5, 7, 10, 25. It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't want to join, then, this is it for you. This is the end of the road. But you can watch this episode when it drops tomorrow. But right now, I'm cutting the live feed because, you got to be in the Patreon to get to my Patreon. Click the link in my bio. Click that Patreon tab. Join the paid membership, and then you get access to all this. So go to my page, click the link in my bio, click that Patreon tab, and join up, man. Join up. I think I'm worth $5 a month. I think I'm worth it. So join up, man. Other than that, y'all have a great, fantastic Tuesday. Yeah, they were still here. Anyway, let me pay these bills real quick, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me pay these bills. Because life doesn't happen bi-weekly. So why should payday? The money you've earned should be in your hands. And with earning, it can be. EarnIn is an app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. Up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. Just download the EarnIn app and add your info. Then start accessing your pay as you work. Leave an optional tip to help keep the app running for everyone. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. You know what I'm saying? What I love about the EarnIn, it's an app that is helping millions of Americans take charge of their pay and avoid falling into debt traps. EarnIn empowers you to make the most of your money with access to $150 a day, like I said, or with a max of $750 between pay periods. No interest, no credit check, and no mandatory fees. It's your money. Put it in your hands with EarnIn. Because we all know life don't be happening bi-weekly. Gas, bills, groceries, a special night out, taking the family to dinner or an event, the last minute gift for a loved one, an unexpected trip to the vet. That vet bill be crazy. Rent, car trouble. That car, man, the mechanics is going to get you every time. Tickets that might sell out before payday, a new dress, school clothes, or school supplies for the kids. You know what I'm saying? All of that good stuff. All of that can happen. It's not going to wait for that 2-week pay period. So you want to have an option for yourself. I wish I had EarnIn when I was, working them 9 to 5s and waiting on that 2 weeks. Man, this would have been clutch. I'd have been maxing out on EarnIn, man. I'm telling you right now. So download the EarnIn app today, spell EARNIN in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the EarnIn app, type in Verbal Cardio under podcast. When you sign up, it'll really help the show. Verbal Cardio under podcast. EarnIn is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details. Download EarnIn now and take control of your pay. Speaking of pay. So me and Kev been on tour. We just did this last weekend. We did Richmond and Orlando. Dope shows. People are fun. Richmond probably had the best overall audience responses to the questions that we sent out. Their question answers were fire. Me and Kev are always going head to head about expensive hotels. Now, Kev is a fan of nice hotels. That's what he likes. That's what he enjoys. He likes the good, fancy hotel experience. That's him all day, every day. And so, we be like, man, you ain't a team player because, the rest of us on tour, because we travel as me, as Kev, is Brandon Lewis, is Tahir, is Josh, is Greg, is Rich. It's the whole camera crew. So we traveling like maybe 12, 13 deep. The camera crew stays separately, but for the main core of us, it's me, Kev, B-Lou, Tahir, Josh, Rich, Greg. So it's 7 of us on the regular, posted up in the hotel. So we be like, yo, team players, right? And so Kev wants to stay at the Four Seasons. He wants to stay at the Ritz-Carlton. He wants to stay in the premium cream of the crop hotels. Mind you, I'm just like, yo, man, we paying for our hotels. We paying for the hotels for the rest of the crew. I'm just like, yo, man, nah. Because, them joints is pricey. And for me, I'm low key on hotel stays. Like I don't need those super expensive hotels. I don't care about it. I want my room to be nice. Here's what I do require from a hotel. This is my biggest requirement. I no longer want a hotel where the door leads to the outside. I don't want that no more. Because I can't be coming out of my room and people in the parking lot be like, Tony Baker. That's not safe. So I'm done with that. I gotta be tucked into the building. Main thing that I need is I want a shower door. I no longer want a shower curtain. I'm off that. I could deal with it. I could tolerate it, but I would prefer no shower curtains. The murder curtain, as I like to call it. I like a door. I like a good shower door. Okay. And I don't like the little half door situation. Y'all know I hate that with the booty out. I need the booty coverage. This is what I prefer to have. But the booty coverage, a lot of nice hotels have the booty out joints because they think that's stylish. They think it's fresh. It's trash. So I prefer a good shower door situation. Now, I could be pushing it, but I really like a handheld option in the shower. If I could get that, that's fantastic. It's not a deal breaker, but I would prefer a handheld option in the shower. Because you can't get into the crevices with the shower head up top and it's just coming down. You can't really get in there. So I would love a handheld option to get up in that crevice. That would be fantastic. Because now you're getting the low key another bidet situation. You're getting a shower bidet situation. Because these hotels ain't coming with the bidet. So now you can get up in that shower, you get the handheld and get up in that butt. Get up in them cheeks. For the full cleanup. You know what I mean? So I would love the handheld, but the handhelds are hard to find. That's it. That's all I require. I don't be caring about the beds. I want it to be clean, of course. But that's it, And so Kev, he likes the full experience at the hotel. He's a room service guy. I'm not a room service guy. Like I don't care about the restaurants inside the hotel. I don't need the room service because usually they don't have the type of food that I like to eat. They might have something on the menu. They might have some avocado toast or something. But I'll be wanting a smoothie. I'll be wanting a smoothie bowl. I'll be wanting a dope salad with a lot of vegan options in the salad. You know what I mean? Some good avocado toast. So mainly, I just like to be in walking distance within places that I can get some good food options. But as far as room service, I'm never using the room service option. I think I used it once in Mexico City, but I was already going through it. My booty hole exploded. It was just a different time. But I don't really use the extra fancy amenities of an expensive hotel, so I feel like I'm wasting money. Now, Kev be making good points on the taxes and stuff like that, so I might as well just, go with the nice hotel option. But for me, I'm still like pretty much low key on the hotel stay. I don't want roaches, of course. I don't want it smelling like smoke, and I don't want it smelling like bug spray. But other than that, I just need a bed, a shower, an iron, and an ironing board, and I'm good to go. So then the question, so we always button heads about that. And so we talk about it all the time. And so the question comes up, am I cheap? Do they be looking at me as a cheapskate? And I'm just like, nah, man. I'm just saying the prices got to make sense for me. The prices have to make sense. And I feel like if everything's extra expensive, but I proved it because they be like, man, Tony, what you spend your money on? I spend my money on Jordan 1s. I got over 70 pair of Jordan 1s, probably 80 now. I got probably 20 New Balance sneakers. I got mad shoes. I got mad clothes. I got all kind of shirts that look the same, look like the same shirt. I get copies of the same shirt. If I like a shirt, I'm going to get about 3 of them. That way I can just, you know what I'm saying? I can pull out a fresh one if need be. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of clothes. So I'll be spending my money on clothes. I'll be spending my money on, just bought a house. You know what I'm saying? My car wasn't cheap. You know, remodeled the house. The big portion of the house. Remodeled my whole bedroom, the bathroom. Remodeled 3 of the bathrooms before I even stepped foot in the house. So, you know, when I get the avocado toast and the smoothie bowl 5-6 days a week, that's money I can save. That's money I can easily make my own avocado toast and just do a smoothie bowl myself. I can easily do this myself, but nah, man, I'm gonna go over here and get it. $40, $50 a day. So now, you know what I'm saying? So I'll be spending, but it just has to make sense for me. You know, we go into these stores and they be like, $1,500 for a jersey. And I'm just like, no, I'm not doing stuff like that. I just can't do it. I can't do it. So like even with my mortgage, I pay more than the minimum every month. So the minimum is this. I pay more because I want to attack that principal balance. So I'll be like, I'll pay extra. So I definitely don't consider myself cheap. It just has to make sense for me. I'll be getting the cat food. I'll be getting them. I got them the little robots. You know what I'm saying? It's got to make sense for me. So that's where I'm at. So I don't consider myself cheap at all. But you know, I feel like that's the narrative they trying to paint on me because I'll be like, man, this price don't make sense. And the prices just got to make sense. That's all I'm saying. That's all I require. I wanted to talk about and another thing that I spend money on, the movie theater. I'm always in the movie theater, and I was just thinking about how often I go to the movie theater. When did my love of movies begin? Where the hell did it come from? What the hell is going on? And what I discovered, I went back all the way to 1977, looking at the movies that have come out, going back as far as my memory can take me. Tori T asked, "Do you trick on women?" And somebody restricted that comment. I think the comment was fair. Do I trick on women? No. Nope. For me, of course, if I ask a woman out on a date, I'm paying for the date for sure. I'm just a firm believer in if I ask you out, I'm footing the bill. That's just a standard for me. And if I really like a girl, then I'll fly her out, but I gotta really be feeling her. Usually, you know, I've only flown in the past. I flew out a girl, we ended up in a relationship. So, you know, it's gotta make sense. But just random women, flying out random women just for the hangout and the smash? No. Buying you a Birkin bag? No, absolutely not. What the hell we doing? What the hell we doing? No. And once I get a hint of they expecting me to pay for some shit, no. If you catch me on a good day, I might be like, man, let me pay for your nails real quick. If you catch me on a good day. But it ain't gonna be no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But if I'm really feeling you and I see a future with you, I'll fly you out. If I like you a lot, we getting somewhere, sure. You know what I'm saying? But just random women out here, watch out, man. Anyway, the movies, man. I was like, yo, when did my movie going experiences really kick in? Because I knew that I've always loved movies. Like we was always watching movies on TV when we had cable, always watching the movies. But then I was going back, I was digging in the crates. I was going back year by year to see what I can remember that I saw in the movie theater. I was in the movie theater as early as 1979. They took me to see Alien in 1979. So I went and tallied up all the movies that I saw per year. In 1980, it was one movie at the theater. In 1981, it went up to 3 movies. In 82, it went up to 3 movies. And mind you, I'm at the mercy of my parents or whoever is just taking us to the movies. In 1982, it was 3 movies. In 1983, it was 2 movies. In 1984, it went up to 6 movies. So then I was like, yo, man, when did my movie going really explode? So now, we in the single digits from 85, 86, 87. 87, it went up to 9. 88, it was 9. 89, it was 8. 1990, it was 8. 1991, it was 8. Then in 92, it went up to 13 movies at the theater. Then 93, it went up to 18. So now we like, oh, Tony going to the movies now. In 94, it went back down to 15. In 95, and that's the year I graduated high school, 95, it shot up to 30 movies in theaters. In 96, it went up to 35. In 97, it went up to 41 movies in the theater. 98, it went back down to 31. That's because I had a weird transition to going to college, so I wasn't going to the movies as much. But then in 99, it shot up to 55 movies in 1 year at the theater. Year 2000, it was 46. 2001, it was 46. 2002, it was 48. 2003, I saw 58 movies in theaters. 2004, it was 51 movies. 2005, it went back down to 39. I don't know why it went back down in 2005, but that's as far as I got, year by year. I'll be going to the movies, y'all. I'm gonna do the rest. I'm gonna do the rest of the movies year by year, all the way up to now. But I got as far as 2005, and that was 39 movies in 1 year. You saw 104 movies in theaters, Damon, in 1998? Did 104 movies even come out that year? You saw everything. I thought I was crazy. You out here fully realized. I thought I was doing something with the 58. 104 is crazy. And so then I got to thinking too about the movies that, I watch. And I got to thinking about life and my lifespan. And like, we live in a culture now where you get judged and roasted for being your age. They call you old. Oh, you old. But when I think about everything that I've lived through and experienced in real time, my lifespan is fantastic. The year I was born, Star Wars came out and changed cinema. So I saw Return of the Jedi in theaters in real time. You know what I'm saying? I was around for the debut of Michael Myers. Michael Myers, who's still relevant today. I was around for the debut of Jason Voorhees. I was around for the debut of Freddy Krueger, Chucky, Pinhead, Candyman. All of these like horror icons that are still like relevant and they showing up every Halloween and all this good stuff. I was around for the inception of those to experience the debut of these characters. I was around for now. Michael Jackson predates me, but he got to his peak of success with Thriller, and I was around for Thriller in real time. I remember when that album came out. I remember when the Thriller video debuted. I was around for that. I remember Friday night videos and they were showing, the new Thriller video. I was around for that. I was around for Jordan in his prime, to see Jordan's rise through the NBA and to see him just dominate. I was there for the 6 championships in real time. Ain't no what if, ain't no, these youngsters debating who was better. I'll see them both in real time. I was around for the changing of the guard with the internet coming into play and like stuff like that. And like all this iconic stuff when Pixar first hit the scene and just, you know, cartoons like G.I. Joe and Transformers coming out and Voltron. Around for all of this. You know what I mean? New technologies, new advancements. Around for all of it. I was around to see Run DMC's debut, Eric B. and Rakim, LL Cool J. You know, all these legends in hip hop. I was around for all that. Tribe Called Quest, NWA. Coming out the gate. Here for the debut. MC Hammer, Salt and Pepper. Nas, Jay-Z, Tupac, Biggie. Was there to see it all in real time where I can fully realize what's going on. New Edition, Belle Biv DeVoe, In Vogue, Tony. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, The Cosby Show. You know, all of these things, man. And so we need to just start embracing our lifespan, our lifetime, and what we've experienced, what we got to see in real time. You know, there was a post of, Morgan Freeman coming down the Jennifer Hudson tunnel. And, you know, he was just like, man, this is the first time I've seen him like, oh, that's because he's up there. Morgan Freeman is in his late 80s. So you got to let people just age, man, how they age. It's a part of life, man. It is what it is. Morgan Freeman is 88 years old. And you know what I'm saying? Y'all getting sad and, you know, yeah, it's sad to think about losing people. Sure. That's a human emotion. But it's also beautiful to see people make it to the 80s and 90s and still exist and like, you know, still be able to walk, move, think, form sentences, remember things. That's a beautiful thing. So instead of just focusing on, you know, the end game, oh, they're going to die soon. No, focus on the fact that, you know, they still here. They still vibrant. They still robust. They still matter. They still out here living every day. They out here eating and drinking and loving their family and getting loved on. Focus on that. Instead of being out here like, man, they really getting old. We all getting old. That's the blessing of life. So I know I spoke on that last episode, but I want to reiterate, man. Sick of it. Enough. Recognize the beauty of still being here. Let that be the focus. And I wanted to nitpick on something when it comes to movies, man, because we got the new Predator movie coming out, and it's PG-13. I don't like it when movies that are rated R, like the original is rated R or the franchise is rated R, and then they get a softer rating. I don't like that. I'm not a fan, man. If you started out R-rated, keep that same energy, man. Don't get soft on us. And I feel like whenever Disney gets their hands on stuff, they always got to soften the shit up, man. Stop softening stuff. So the new Predator is going to be PG-13? Why? Keep that shit gritty, man. Keep it gritty. I've been hearing great things about that Predator movie, but still, I'm just like, man, why y'all get soft? So I was looking at movies where the rating went from rated R to PG-13. One is the Die Hard franchise. The first three Die Hard movies were rated R, right? Then the fourth one comes out, we PG-13. And the fourth one, out of the first four, the fourth one to me was the weakest. Even though it was good, it was solid, it was entertaining. I was just like, nah, man. It didn't hit the same as the other three. Especially when, you know, that first Die Hard was gritty, man. They was cussing. It was violent. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Jesus Christ, lady, I sound like I'm ordering fucking pizza. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got to keep that energy, man. What we getting soft for? So I don't like it when they downgrade, well, not downgrade the rating, but just we trying to make it more where people can come say, man, fuck that, man. Keep the shit edgy and gritty. Speed. The first Speed was rated R. Right? Speed was excellent. It was fun. It was one of the best movies of that summer. It was fantastic. It was perfect. The perfect action vehicle. They come out with Speed 2, PG-13, and that shit was garbage. Speed 2 was one of the worst sequels of all time. Storyline, plot, whatever. Keanu wasn't even in it. It was trash. I don't know if you could fully blame the rating, but it was just like, yo, man, you're messing with the sauce. Once Keanu Reeves was like, yo, I'm not coming back. Scrap the movie. I understand you still have Sandra Bullock, but nah, man. Keanu, even though Sandra Bullock, Speed was the movie that shot her into the stratosphere. Keanu, all right, once he was like, nah, man, I'm out. Don't get another actor to come up in here. Jason Patrick, man, he got a raw deal. Keep the shit rated R if we started that way. Right? RoboCop 1 was super gritty. It was super violent, rough, gritty, scary, ultra violent. And then the sequel followed suit. Sequel was just as edgy and violent. It had a kid in there that was a homicidal maniac. That was disturbing. But it was still just like, all right, we gritty out here, man. We in the future. We in Detroit. Anything could pop off. RoboCop 3 comes out. PG-13. Shit was garbage. Superman flying. We got a new actor as RoboCop. I mean, not Superman. RoboCop was flying in this one. Garbage. One of the worst sequels of all time. And you making the PG-13, you think that's going to soften it up and bring more butts and seats? Man, the shit was garbage. You lost the whole essence and vibes. You know what I'm saying? Riddick. When Pitch Black came out, rated R. Gritty, creepy, scary. You know what I'm saying? Then when they come out with the Chronicles of Riddick, they want to expand the world and expand the universe and expand the lore and they want to get more butts in the seats. Let's make Chronicles of Riddick PG-13. It bombed. It bombed. It didn't hit the same. Something was off. People didn't show up like that. It lost some of the edge. The Terminator franchise. Terminator 1, gritty, R-rated, scary, violent. Terminator 2, one of the best action movies ever made, but also violent, gritty, scary. No holds barred. Rated R, masterpiece of action cinema. Terminator 3, also rated R. Not as good as the first two, but it was still, to me, it was still entertaining. We still got that edge. And then later on, when they do Terminator Salvation, Terminator Dark Fate, now Dark Fate came back to the R rating. You know what I'm saying? Because the next two Terminator movies after Terminator 3, they were like PG-13, and them shit sucked. Terminator Salvation, it just wasn't it. It wasn't it. It wasn't absolute garbage, but it wasn't nowhere near as good as the first two. And then Terminator Genesis, the less said about that movie, the better. So then with Dark Fate, it went back to the rated R, and I feel like it was a better movie. You know what I'm saying? Stop getting salt on the rating. Alien / Predator. You know what I'm saying? Alien versus Predator. A softer approach to the interspecies violence led to a PG-13 rating. Alien versus Predator. You mean to tell me Predator, which is super gritty and violent, and Alien, which is scary, gritty, and violent, you gonna bring these two together and give it a PG-13? This shit sucked. It sucked. How you gonna bring two iconic IPs together that are known for being gritty and rough and violent? You gonna bring them together and soften the rating? You might as well make it PG, rated G, right? You're ruining it. Why would you even? We gotta get more butts in the seats. Fuck butts in the seats. Keep the integrity of the property going. If a movie is good, people gonna pull up regardless of the rating. Yeah, you can't get like teens rolling in there and seeing it for themselves, but hey, guess what? The Exorcist was rated R. It made over $200 million in 1973. Big rated R. Big controversy. But guess what? People was going regardless. If a movie is good, you can't stop the flow. People gonna show up. The first Alien movie and the second Alien movie did well at the box office, and they were rated R. Aliens did 80-something million. The first Alien did 70-something million. That 70-something million was 1978 money. And that 80-something million was in 86 money. And then you come around the corner with the Predator, that made 50-something million. Predator 2 didn't do as well as the first one. That's because you recast the main actor, which is another issue. But at least you still kept it rated R. But you know, it was a different actor, so it was just going to be a different outcome. It made a little more. It didn't do as well as the first one. But still, you kept that grit in there. Here we go. Put them together, PG-13, and the movie suffered. Highlander, which is a franchise I never really got into. Highlander, the first one was rated R. And then they come out and make it PG-13 on the sequels. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Now, we got Mad Max. Mad Max and The Road Warrior. The Road Warrior is one of the best action films of all time, in my opinion. In my opinion. And so with those first two movies, they're gritty, they're violent, and then they come out with Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome with Tina Turner in there. They made that PG-13, and it just felt softer. It didn't feel the same. It didn't feel the same. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as good as the other two. And then when you go back to the rated R with the Mad Max with Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron, it was excellent again. You know what I'm saying? Keep the grit. Keep the grit. Conan the Barbarian, they changed the rating. Conan went from rated R to Conan the Destroyer. They hit it with a PG rating. And then the spinoff, Red Sonja, PG-13. Man, what are we doing? What are we doing? No. And then you got the movie The Expendables with all these action icons, man. They came out with the R rating in the first one, right? But The Expendables 2 was also rated R. Then for the third one, they're going to make it a PG-13. What are you doing? What was the point of that? Why? Why? Stop diluting the shit, man. You're diluting it. I don't like that, man. Keep the shit gritty. I don't even like it when they PG-13 up certain comedians. Like when you know a comedian is known for being raw and raunchy and cussing, and then you put them in environments where they gotta take their foot off the gas a little bit on the language tip, it don't be hitting the same. I feel like you got prime Bernie Mac when he could cuss freely. I feel like that was prime Bernie. When he can cuss fully, big cuss, that's when you got him at his funniest. Because when you think of Bernie Mac movies like Mr. 3000 and Guess Who and stuff like that, it wasn't like the same Bernie that you was getting in those smaller roles like Players Club and Life and, you know, House Party 3, all these movies where he was just like still in the show. And then when you got him in the lead, some of the edge was gone. But then when he go back to Rated R, like in Soul Man, shit was mad funny again, man. And I'm not saying you can't be funny and be PG-13 or PG. You can be. You know, Sinbad is one of my favorite comedians. He don't even cuss. But when we know you as Cuss McGee, he did steal a show and Head of State. He stole it because he was gritty in that. He just didn't cuss. He still kept the same grit and the same Bernie Mac energy. He just didn't cuss as much. But man, when he's the lead in the film and they give him the PG-13, it feels like some of the edge is gone. That's all I'm saying, man. Keep that shit rated R, man. Keep it funky. Keep it gritty. Stay in the lane we know you for. But anyway, I just wanted to get all that off my nipples, man. I want to thank y'all for pulling up. If you happen to be in DC is sold out. So if you happen to be in Charlotte, Oakland, or LA, pull up. Pull up. And if you happen to be in the LA area, Tony Baker and Friends returns for New Year's Eve, 2 shows. So if you happen to be around, pull up for that, man. Ring in the new year with me, with your boy. So pull up on that. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the Patriot Sainthood. I should be on the sticks tonight if you're bored. I appreciate y'all, man. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope your life is good. I hope your loved ones are doing it as best as they can be. And I appreciate y'all. I care about your lives. And thank you for tuning in to another session of that verbal cardio.